Hi, I'm Dan Cooper. I'm a consultant here at HAYNE.cloud. I'm going to spend this time to run through with you in this month's update the 3 pain points of cloud and how we help customers with these on a daily basis. We can place most of customers' pain points with the cloud into 3 main areas. These tend to fall into cost, security and operations. So from a cost perspective, how do you know where your money is going in terms of your cloud spend and how you can save in areas without making too much of an impact both to your people and their apps and their data. You may have cost centers within your business, which mean you have to report financially on usage and licenses, etc. So again, how are you doing this today? As ever with Microsoft, there are constant changes regarding contracts, licenses, renewals and prices. This month is no surprise. Microsoft this week announced price increases ahead of the board, across the board and in the UK for 5% increases across Microsoft 365. This combined with renewals on NCE makes it even more prevalent that you get to understand your license and your costs and what you can do to take action to make sure you are in the best position possible. With regarding security, have you got visibility of your security weaknesses? By that we mean, do you understand where the weaknesses are, how you can start to prioritize the recommendations and how you can do this on a continual basis? Do you have a plan to improve the posture? And what does this plan look like? In terms of operations, how often do you assess your resources? By that we're talking about how often do you check if they're optimized? Have you got the right things deployed in the right places? And do you have plans to address misconfigurations to prevent potential future issues? Staying on top of misconfigurations in Azure and 365 and all the feature settings that come with it can help prevent potential reliability issues in the future and make sure that your people have what they need in the right place at the right time and that it's working optimally. So I'm just going to spend the next few minutes going into the 3 main areas across cost, security and operations, starting with costs. As we just mentioned, multiple areas in which you can look to improve your cost optimization. A key one that we see often is over provisioning. This is usually in the form of oversized virtual machines, storage types being underutilized, or people not using the majority of features in their Microsoft licenses. Other examples are resizing or shutting down virtual machines, which can significantly reduce ongoing costs. Duplicate purchase is an obvious one, however it's still a common pitfall we see customers going down. This is often in terms of licensing within Microsoft 365, where it's likely your people are using third-party tools to get their job done, not knowing that it's already within 365 apps, or perhaps your IT team haven't enabled them or licensed them correctly. We also see customers not taking advantage of security, compliance and collaboration features in Microsoft 365 and purchasing these elsewhere, often duplicating in cost. Not deprovisioning orphaned resources is also a big one, especially if in your organisation, if you have a development team and multiple development environments where common components such as disks, VNets, IP addresses, etc. are left once you've cleared down the environment. The last one, this is pretty big, as we mentioned at the beginning, preparing for renewals and changes. So as we mentioned earlier, Microsoft have announced a 5% increase to Microsoft 365 licensing next year, and around half of Microsoft 365 licenses in the UK will renew on NCE in February. So you need to get a good understanding now to make sure you are in an optimal position to make an informed decision before committing to a renewal into next year and budgeting for your next financial year as well. So to round up, you need to surface what's going on where, by who and how much it is costing your organisation. Introduce some basic governance such as budgets and policies to act as guardrails. And finally, regularly review deployed resources and licenses for right sizing and correct purpose. Moving on to security, which is a very big topic. I'm just going to use this time just to focus on the zero trust pillars for this session, as this is more aligned to cloud security, which we're talking about today. The first pillar, identity, is crucial for protecting user accounts and ensuring that only authorized individuals have access to your resources. Organizations of all sizes can enhance their identity security by implementing the usual multi-factor authentication, using Entra, additionally enforcing strong password policies, etc. All the usual features which I'm sure you're used to aware of, but it's worth calling out. We still see a lot of customers and organizations not protecting their accounts with multi-factor authentication. The second pillar, devices. This focusing on securing your endpoints that access your cloud environment. Organizations can use Microsoft Intune for mobile device management and mobile application management to protect the applications within. Intune allows you to enforce compliance policies, configuring security settings and managing devices centrally. Regularly updating devices and applying security patches are essential practices to ensure that all of your endpoints remain secure. The third pillar, applications, involves securing the apps that your organization uses. You can look to use tools such as Defender for Cloud Apps to gain visibility and control into app usage, detect unusual behavior, and control access accordingly. Implementing things like conditional access policies help ensure that only compliant devices and trusted users are accessing the critical applications and data. Again, regularly reviewing this is absolutely imperative. The fourth pillar, data, is about protecting your organization's sensitive information. Time should be spent on classifying and protecting documents and emails by applying labels that enforce encryption and access controls implementing this. DLP policies in 365 can help prevent the accidental sharing of sensitive information, and regularly auditing this access and usage can help identify and mitigate any potential risks that exist today. So to round this up, regularly review the recommendations on where you are scoring lowest for these four areas. There are benchmarks available as well through CIS which guide you through the relevant security controls and how to apply them. And finally, regularly monitor all of the above and track the changes in your environment. The last main pain point is operations and resource optimization. Implementing features like auto-scaling to adjust Azure resources based on demand can ensure that you are only paying for what you use. A good use case is if you have certain activities which take place at different times of the month. For example, if you have a number of users who use an application for the bill runs at the end of the month, for example, you can look to use auto-scaling to adjust your resources accordingly. As you're paying for compute by the hour in this instance, it makes sense to take advantage of auto-scaling for certain workloads. Managing your resources in a certain way with tools like Azure Advisor or Azure Policy is a must in larger environments. However, also in smaller subscriptions, you can use tools to highlight where you can tweak resources to both save cost and improve reliability or protect against data center outages in certain regions, for example. In Microsoft 365, understanding how your people are using the applications and features and how well they are adopted will help you right-size the licenses that you provide them with. To sum up our last main point, plan your optimization activities and make it a part of your BAU operations. Take advantage of the inbuilt or third-party tools to surface recommendations and configure monitoring and alerts to track performance and resource health within Microsoft 365. And take the time to understand how your people are using features within Microsoft 365 and how well these are being adopted. At HAYNE, we help our customers with all of these pain points by using our Scout tool to visualize and inform recommendations on a regular basis. This uses automation and machine learning, along with dashboards to uncover areas of attention across cost, security, and resource optimization. We're currently offering free health checks within Microsoft 365 to new and existing customers, allowing us to prioritize and address important areas across these three pillars. Thank you for your time today. Hopefully this has been useful, and we look forward to having further sessions exploring how we can help you optimize your cloud environment.